Well, Nan, we've been here for a while. We've answered a lot of questions. We got just a few more, and then we can finally go pick up. I know I don't have a seat back to that stool that you have, and it would be a lot more comfortable. But you look great. You look nice wearing that Adidas hoodie.
Oh, thank you.
Are you hungry?
Because you say Adidas because you're an Adidas man.
I am.
You're a representative.
Are you hungry? Have you worked up an appetite?
Not yet.
Not yet. You're just ready to go.
Your daddy took me this morning to eat pancakes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, nobody called me to get pancakes.
Well, I got some at home. I'll get them to you.
No, you're
when
good.
When you drop Jason, Connor.
No, you're good. We only got a couple more questions here. This one is from Stephanie Sexton. She says, or she asked, what's one of the best pieces of advice you received and from who? In your entire life,
Yeah.
What is one of the best pieces of advice you have received and from who?
My godmother. My godmother was a Christian person. To me, she was like an angel on earth. And
what was her name?
Rosa Genaro de Pantoja, Madrina Rosa. I used to call her Madrina Rosa. She's the one that gave me my first gift that I had, and it was a Coty, a little box of Coty powder, Coty, C-O-T-Y, that smells so good. It was powder, the one that you used to put in the face with the puff. And she gave me that, and I thought that was the biggest gift, because since we never got gift from, we were so poor. I mean, we had plenty to eat because my daddy always kept a garden, so we never went hungry. My daddy kept a garden with corn and beans and potatoes, and we lived in the country, and it was a good terrain for gardens. So we always had, I was tired of eating so many vegetables, and now I crave them. And every once in a while, my mama kill a chicken, and we put meat in there, and they, on Fridays, my daddy, his job was cutting sugar cane. He used to cut sugar cane, and then he got another job milking cows, and he always was working hard to put food on the table after he stopped doing the garden because his arthritis was bad on his back. But we never suffer hungry. We just suffer with no shoes, and the dresses I wore had patches in it. Mama, it looked like a quilt sometimes, the one that I went to school with, but I was not the only child like that. Other children went to school bare feet, and we all were about the same, financially the same shape. So I thought that was normal. It didn't bother me at all.
What is a piece of advice that someone from the older generations in Puerto Rico, like what is something that they told you to always live by, a motto or something when you were little? What is something that a family member that was older, like we appreciate our older generations here for wisdom, what was something that one of the older generations told you that you'll always remember, like a good piece of advice?
Well, my mama always said to us, protect your reputation. Especially if you're a woman, you're going to protect that reputation, so don't do anything that people might question or something. Just be sure you protect your reputation, because reputation is very important. If you have a good reputation, people believe you when you tell them something. So to have a great character.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Did your grandparents ever give you any advice on anything?
I was never in touch too much with my grandparents because they didn't live that close to us.
Where did they live in Puerto Rico?
Well, my mama's daddy and mother, they live about 1.5 miles, and that was a long ways when you don't have no transportation. And but my grandmama's daddy always worked hard. He working so hard. He had a grocery store, and he let people charge, and then people never did pay him, so his grocery store went bankrupt. And then he started planting tobacco and sugar cane, and when the sale of tobacco and the sale of sugar cane, then he got back on his feet. He was a fighter, and he never went to school. But he can add and subtract. He knew math. I don't know how he learned it. Never. And Mama only went to the 2nd grade in school. And Mama was smart. If Mama had the opportunity to finish school, because my grandfather took her out of school in the 2nd grade, so she could give the people that was working for him the sugar cane and in the tobacco plantation, so she would bring their lunches and things. So he pulled her out of the 2nd grade. But Mama was a very bright, smart person, and that gene was passed to Reagan and to Kurt, and part of it to you. Not to me so much, but I guess I got a little of Mama's. But Reagan, you know that Kurt, I mean, I know you're smart, but you know that Kurt was a genius.
Yeah, Kurt was smart. He knew, he knew.
He didn't have to, all he had to look at something and he fixed it. Even if he never had seen it before, he knew everything.
He could compartmentalize things real quick, and he could just process it. I can process things after a long time.
And Andrea is smart too.
Andrea and Reagan are both.
Andrea's really smart.
Real smart, and then
really smart.
And then, Dad and I sometimes have some hiccups and hard times, but we finally we get it done after a while. And then Connor's smart, so.
Yeah.
Last question from Ken Grayson in Albuquerque, New Mexico. How hard was it finishing your education at the same time that your children were in the exact same school that you were? Y'all were both attending school at the exact same time, and you were an adult, and they were, close to Connor's age.
And I had to beg for them to take me in school. I mean, I begged because I quit school to get married, And I say, I want to finish school someday. I'm going to finish it. And he waited 9 years after we were married. I knew enough English that I thought I was ready to go back to school. And I had to fight with the principal because he said, well, we never have gotten an adult person before to come to school. And then pretty soon the school be full with adults. I say, I pay taxes here. I got a house, I'm paying taxes, which it pays your salary, and if you don't take me in school, I'm going to go to the newspaper, and I'm going to badmouth you. and he said, okay, let's do it, because I started, it was January, it was the middle of the semester. So I started, he said, okay, let's finish the year, see how it goes. And everything went fine. And I passed all my grades. I don't know how that happened. Well, some of the students were kind enough to come to my house and help me with the homework and explain it to me.
Pop wouldn't Pop couldn't explain anything?
He was too busy biting his nails.
You told me a story one time about how to make extra money you had to go fix the lunches at the school.
Yeah, okay. And while I was going to school, and my two kids were in school, Kurt and Billy, at lunchtime, because I was in school too, I went back to school. At lunchtime, I dry dishes and wash dishes at the cafeteria, so it paid for the lunches for the three of us, because we didn't have. At that time, Joe just began to work at Texas Eastman, and it was just enough money to pay the utilities and the house payment. We were making house payment and all that, so I was not ashamed to stay in school there and dry dishes and wash. At the time, they didn't have those fancy washing machines, dishwasher that they have now. You have to put it in a rack and roll it, and then at the end you pick up the plates and dry them and put them back to be reused again.
Did you ever feel like people were judging you when you were in that situation? Did you?
No.
Was there anybody, because things were different back then. Things were different for a lot of reasons back then. Did you ever feel like that, obviously not naming names, but did you ever feel like that some people just judged you just because of the situation you were in and, just basically saying you shouldn't be here at the school. You're an adult, you should be at home. What was it? Was anybody judgy?
No, not really, because they knew my temper. I don't think they wanted to mess with me, because I'll fight back. I mean, with my tongue lash.
Was it hard on Billy and Kurt at all?
No, it was harder on Billy than on Kurt. But I don't want to mention names now or nothing. It's just because Billy was a little darker than Kurt, and they were judging him based on he had that pretty olive complexion. Billy always had a pretty complexion, and Kurt was fair complected.
It's strange. People always, for the longest time, like when I first turned 21, I remember going out to some of the local bars, and Dad would be there, or I'd go with him, and people would always pull me to the side. Even his friends that he'd known for years, they say, "Hey, I gotta ask a question. Is Billy your real daddy?" And I would say, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I mean, he's darker complected, and obviously you're white." And I would say, "Yeah, he's my dad." I said, "It's strange. In like Puerto Rican culture, you can, you have fair complected, you have darker complected, you have much darker complected. You have Puerto Rico is a big melting pot of different people. And my sister Reagan's darker complected than I am.
Yeah.
I burn and then I tan. Reagan always has been tan like Dad.
Pretty skin.
Kurt's always been, more of the lighter skin. You were lighter skin. Your sister was lighter skin. Your brothers, they were a little bit darker. And I always tell people, I said, Puerto Ricans, they're just a mixture of just beautiful heritage and skin. I mean, the country is just a melting pot of all different cultures, and it's all different. So I've seen blonde hair, blue eye Puerto Ricans. Now they're.
Well, my daddy had green eyes, and he was fair complected, and he turned red like a lobster when he got in the sun. But originally, Puerto Rico was a colony of Spain, so the first group, there were Spanish people, so we got some of that.
And a lot of your family were Taino Indian.
Yeah, and on my daddy's side, on my mama's daddy, he was the Indian. He was an Indian, the one that had the sugarcane plantation and all that. But he married a Spaniel, so Mama's mother was green eyes, red-headed. I mean, she had red hair. And that was just the combination there that made us, some of us, darker, and some of, I consider myself dark, considering my older sister, Rosalina, that was really fair complected and had green eyes. She had the green eyes.
What, all your brothers, they got brown eyes.
Yes.
They got brown eyes. Connor has brown eyes.
Yeah. My brothers have brown eyes like Mama, like the Indian side.
Mm.
Yeah.
And my eyes were the same.
As Daddy.
And my eyes were the same color as Pop.
Yeah.
So I got Pop's eye color. Connor got Pop's, well, maybe a little bit of Pop's stubbornness. And Connor's a lefty. Connor's left-handed like Pop. So, well, Nan, we did some, we got to go pick up Connor. We did some damage here today on some videos. We did pretty good. Hopefully we'll be able to come back and do some more of these. But I know a lot of people have been wanting to catch up with you. More people want to know about you because Pop Watch, as we know, all the videos were pretty much dedicated to Pop and mine and his relationship, along with everybody else who came in. It was kind of like a different set of characters who would just rotate through the videos almost. But I know everybody's excited and they're happy to get to know Nan. And I know you're excited because, you know, you want to tell your story a little bit.
There's still some more to tell, plenty. I guess I could write a book.
Well, a lot of people, as a lot of people know, we're working on a book. We're working on a cookbook, and it's, I mean, you're trying to take care of the cookbook stuff just because.
Because the food from Puerto Rico, it's a little different. It doesn't have that spicy, hot spice like Italian food, but we have the sauces and all that. And we eat a lot of pork chops, pork in the rotisserie, puerco asado, lechon asado. That's one of Puerto Rico's favorite.
And you and I have been working on the book too. We're just trying to get pictures and stuff written down and who people are and all that.
It'll be a while.
Yeah, it'll be a while before it's finished. So, but is there anything you want to tell your fans before you get out of here today? I don't need to turn the camera around. The camera's on you.
It's not turned on.
It's on.
It's on?
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching it.
Oh, I thought I needed to see the little green light.
No, you're good.
Oh my goodness. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you family. I know there are all kinds of them. Some of them we want to hate love, but we love them. It's just that we get mad at them. I used to get mad at Papa for about 10 minutes. I wanted to stay mad, and I get mad at myself because I could not stay mad no more than 10 minutes.
Life's too short to be mad at people.
Life too short. Life is a flash. So turn around and appreciate your family and love your family and be a better person than you were yesterday. That's what I'm trying to do. And loving. Yes. Till next time, I'll see you again soon.